Week 6 is here, and it is Wednesday. So you know what that means. Let's get to some picking. What is up, football fans? We are on to week 6 in the NFL. It's moving by quicker than I want it to. If I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, it's not as bad, but it's week 6. It's week 6. I'm gonna pick the games. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But before we jump into the picks, I have to shout out today's sponsor, and that is BetUS. Let me show you what BetUS is all about. Now, this is BetUS. They are a fantastic betting site. They're reliable. They are secure. If you look here, you get 125% sign-up bonus when you click the link in the description. You give $100, you get $125 to play with. Click the link in the description below. I'm showing you what it's all about, right? They got sports book betting, live betting, race betting, casinos. They got football, basketball, baseball, hockey, golf, tennis, soccer. We're talking NFL right now, right? So let's go to football. And you could see, you can make the bets on quarters. You could do week 6. There's prop bets. And the way it works is like Dolphins, Panthers. You click on it, you hit display selected, and then boom, you get to see the prop bets. Miami total touchdown, over under 3.5. You could do all the prop bets. Team to score less, Miami, Carolina. All these cool different prop bets, and they have them for every single game. They have college football prop bets. They have even to make the playoffs, draft position. So many cool things to use on this, so go check them out. Again, click the link in the description. BetUS, fantastic site, and thank you guys so much for sponsoring this video. Now, if you notice, a lot of times when we do our videos, I have this popped up, and I give you the spread. Well, I get my spreads from BetUS. So again, thank you so much for sponsoring. And we're going to jump right into this. We're going to review last week as we are picking for this week. And we're going to start with tomorrow's game. We have the Denver Broncos, who just barely lost to the Jets. Like, just barely. Russell Wilson fumble, scoop, and score is how they lost to the Jets. It was a bad game for both teams. If you want my honest opinion, you got Kansas City, who also, what's going on with Kansas City and the refs? I'm not in the NFC West. If you can tell, I'm a Dolphins fan. I don't give a crap. But that one play where it was pass interference and then there's a holding call and the player took his helmet off and the ref told him to put his helmet back on. There was 3 penalties in one play and none were enforced. Very suspicious if you ask me, but it is Thursday night. And I normally with the Thursday night teams, the home team does get a huge advantage. Kansas City is giving 10.5. I'm going to Kansas City straight up. Obviously, they are the better team. Denver Broncos are just a hot mess. But I think it'll be closer than you expect. It is a division rival. Sean Payton, that man, he's not going to get fired. But geez Louise. Nah, screw it. I'm going Kansas City straight up and the spread. 10.5. I don't know what's going on with Denver, but it ain't looking good. Then we have the Baltimore Ravens. Lost to the Steelers. Surprising there. And you have the Tennessee Titans, who also lost last week. You got 2 teams kind of treading in the wrong direction. Baltimore heading to Tennessee. Baltimore is giving 4. I'm going Baltimore both straight up and the spread. I think they're the better team. Tennessee's is just having a hard time really with an identity crisis of what kind of team they are. They go out and they beat the Bengals, but then they lose last week, and it's just this up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm going to Baltimore to have a bounce back after losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then next we have the Commanders taking on those Falcons. And the Falcons are doing pretty good. And the Commanders to the Chicago Bears. I'm going with the Falcons in this one. The Falcons are home. I think they'll do a little bit better. The Falcons are actually giving 2.5 being the home team. Washington, like the Commanders in that Bears game on Thursday night was just hot mess express. I got no faith in the Commanders. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons straight up and versus the spread. Then we have the Minnesota Vikings, who I just talked about. Just it was bad. It was a bad beat for them against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then Chicago got their first win. So you know what? For your first win, talking about the Chicago Bears. I'm taking Minnesota in this one. Chicago feel good about, but also Minnesota's not having Justin Jefferson. I want to throw that one out there. Minnesota is still giving 2.5. I do think Minnesota is a little bit better of a team than Chicago is. I think Kirk Cousins is a little bit better of a quarterback. Not a little bit, but he's a better quarterback than Justin Fields is. I'm going with Minnesota straight up and versus the spread. I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago does pull off the upset because Minnesota is just slowly crumbling. And then we have the Seattle Seahawks heading over to take on the Cincinnati Bengals, kind of getting their stuff together. Jamar Chase, showing up. Cincinnati's giving 2.5, so it's not that big of a, give spread. I don't know what just happened with my brain. This one's interesting because it could go either way, in my honest opinion. Seattle could still come and do their thing. They're 3-1 for an obvious reason. They did play some good teams. And then you have the Bengals, who were 1-3 at one point. And then they won last week. This is interesting. This is a hard one. I'm going to go with the home team just because it's so even for me. And with the spread as well. I'm going Cincinnati straight up and the 2.5. I'm giving them that slight edge because they're the home team. Other than that, I probably will go with Seattle. And you got the 5-0 undefeated 49ers heading to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And the 49ers put a butt whooping on the Dallas Cowboys. A butt whooping on the Dallas Cowboys. And Cleveland had a bye last week, so they got to relax and kind of sit back and watch what happened with the rest of the NFL, but I'm going with the 49ers in this one. The 49ers are dangerous. Their defense is dangerous. Their offense is dangerous. They are a dangerous football team. I'm going with the 49ers in this one, and they're given 6. I do think they'll win by at least a touchdown, so I'm going spread and straight up there. Then next we have the New Orleans Saints, who just destroyed the New England Patriots, taking on the Houston Texans. Houston is getting 1. I'm going with Houston. Apparently, C.J. Stroud has never lost at home in the NFL or in college. He's only been in the NFL for 5 weeks, but still, I'm going with the Houston Texans. I want to see them surprise the Saints and go to 500. I'm picking the Houston Texans in this one. Let's go Houston. And then we have the Colts taking on the Jaguars. Jaguars beating Buffalo. We appreciate you, Jacksonville. Dolphin fans, that is. And Indy getting a nice win last week as well with their running back just running all over the place. This one's going to be an interesting one. Jacksonville's giving 4. They are the home team. I do think Jacksonville is still a little bit better, but I do like the young quarterback that the Colts have. But I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars here, but I am going to go with the Colts versus the spread. I think this game is going to be closer than a lot of people think. But I think this is going to be an actually interesting game. Both teams 3-2, very surprising there. Very interesting game there. Then we have the Miami Dolphins hosting the winless Panthers. I will talk all about this on Friday like I usually do, but this is important. Miami, you don't want to be the first team to lose to the Panthers. You also don't want to look past them and worry about the Philadelphia Eagles. But I'll talk more about that on Sunday, but I will tell you that the Miami Dolphins are giving 14 points. Tune in Friday. You get a full breakdown of that. Then we have the Patriots heading to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Josh McDaniels, I almost said Mike McDaniels. Josh McDaniels facing Belichick. I think the last time Josh McDaniels faced Belichick when he was with Denver, he won. And the Patriots are just falling apart. 1-4. I didn't think they'd be 1-4 at this point. I could see like 2-3, 3-2, but I didn't think 1-4. And the Raiders won against the Packers. That was such a messy game, though. A lot of people didn't understand the field goal attempt by Josh McDaniels. I did. Either or, you go for the fourth down, you make it, game over. You don't make it, you give him the ball back. He tried the field goal, you make it, game over, kind of. You don't make it, you give him the ball. It was kind of, in my mind, it's kind of the same thing. I'm going with the New England Patriots. They're getting 3. I don't think the Patriots are going to go to 1-5. I don't think Belichick will let the Patriots go to 1-5. If it does happen, I don't know if Bill Belichick will be back next year. So I'm going with the Patriots in this one. There's nothing really about the Raiders that scare me. Josh Jacobs is still good, but I think the performance we saw from them on Monday night had more to do with the Packers than it had to do with the Raiders. So I'm going to give New England a shot here, obviously straight up, and the spread. Then we have the Detroit Lions heading to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. Surprising Buccaneers sitting there at 3-1 after coming off a bye. And the Lions just doing their thing, 4-1, very competitive. The Lions are given 3.5. I'm going with the Lions in this one, both straight up and the spread. Very surprising, Lions. Keep up the good work, Dan Campbell. Got a little bit of a special spot in my heart being a Dolphins fan. Keep up the good work. We'll see how. I think this game will be very competitive as well, and I think this will be a good one as well. There's a few good games this week, and there's a few ones that could be butt whoopings. But I like this one as well. Then we have the Cardinals heading to LA to take on the Rams. Don't be surprised with this one. Cardinals are playing hard. They're playing some hard-nosed football. They almost beat the Giants. They obviously beat the Cowboys. They're playing some good football. Who did they face last week that I was checking in? Oh, the Bengals. At one point, they were playing the Bengals last week, and they had the lead. So don't sleep on the Cardinals, who are getting 7. Taking on the Rams. They're getting 7. The Rams lost to the Eagles. We all saw that one coming. I'm picking the Rams. But with the spread, I'm going with the Cardinals. I think this game is going to be closer. Like I said, don't sleep on the Cardinals. They have been competitive in a lot of their football games. But I'm going Rams straight up, Cardinals with the spread. Then we have the last late game, which is the Philadelphia Eagles, other undefeated team, taking on them Jets. Squeaking out a win against the Denver Broncos, getting, a little redemption for your offensive coordinator. Eagles. Eagles are giving 7. I think Eagles straight up in the spread. The Eagles are a very good, well-rounded team, kind of like the 49ers, where they have a good defense and a good offense. The Jets have a good defense, but their offense is just not there. Breece Hall is starting to come into it, but they're facing a very good defense with the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm going Eagles straight up and versus the spread. Then we have the Sunday night game, which I guess before the season started, this looked like a good competition. Now it doesn't, with the Giants, who are 1-4, taking on the Bills, who are 3-2. Bills just lost to the Jaguars. Giants lost to the Dolphins. That Bills game, Bills fans coming out with all the excuses. I don't understand this, right? The Dolphins lose to the Bills, and Bills fans say, what's with all the excuses? Just own the loss. But whenever the Bills lose, they have like a laundry list of reasons. Well, why did the Jaguars get to stay 2 weeks in a row over in London? Because they had to play 2 London games. You're lucky you didn't have to play 2 London games. Well, it's because of this. Just own up to the loss, man. Jaguars had your number. It's not the first time they had your number. But the Bills are going to win this game. And by a lot. You're giving 14 points. I will go with the spread and straight up taking Buffalo. I think they're going to win by like 21. I think they're going to be a little bit mad that they lost to the Jaguars in the UK, and they're going to take it out on the Giants. I just have no faith that the Giants are going to really put anything up against this Buffalo Bills team. They did lose Matt Milano, but they got Von Miller back, and they're going to have something to play for, and they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. So I'm going Buffalo straight up in the spread. But Bill fans, man, it's not all you guys, but when you lose, just be like, man, good game by the Jaguars. We lost. Let's move on to next week. I don't know why it's so hard for them to do that. Then we have the Monday night game. The Cowboys heading to LA to take on them Chargers, coming off a bye as well. Cowboys. I was looking forward to that Sunday night game, Cowboys 49ers. Then I wasn't looking forward to it much anymore when you guys just could not do anything. And the Chargers, like I said, coming off a bye. This is an interesting game. Dallas is giving 2. So Dallas is still the favorite. I'm going with Dallas, both straight up in the spread. And here's my reasoning. When I look at the Chargers, I think they have a dynamic offense. Obviously, they have a very good quarterback. But their defense leaves some to desire, you know. And you look at the Dallas Cowboys, you know, Parsons and, you know, they still have CeeDee Lamb, Pollard. They still have the weapons on offense and the weapons on defense to be disruptive. And I think they also, kind of like the Bills, have something to prove after getting completely destroyed by the 49ers, that they're going to come in and they're going to play hard. And I have them winning by like 3. So, again, they're giving 2. So, I'm going with the Cowboys straight up versus the spread. But comment below. Let me know what you think of my picks. Did I pick for your team? Did I pick against your team? I want to know your picks. I didn't give you guys the standings when it comes to the Pick'em League. I don't think much has changed, but I normally give that to you guys, and I apologize for not doing it now. So we got a log jam at second place. There's 5 teams. 5 people sitting at second place. Number 1 is Zachary Aguero. Number 2 is Trent Nugent. Also number 2, Kevin Suko, Hoxie Lover, Jason Foster, and Chris Smith also at number 2. Got 5 people at 2 and 1 person at 1. So let's go, baby. I'm not that far off. Again, I'm stuck at 5. 5 games behind you guys. So, but again, comment below. I will see you guys on Friday. I think I might have a video planned for you guys tomorrow. If not, I'll definitely see you guys on Friday with the preview of the Dolphins hosting the Panthers. Still a big game. I don't care what people say. It's still a big game. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. If it's up.